But Sif Tes, I believe. On page Mem Hey. Yeah, so again, what's the theme of this Maamar? The whole Maamar talks about the three different aspects within mitzvahs, Torah, B'chlal, our relationship to the Eibishter, Elyon, Tachton, and what's above both of them, that could combine, could join both of them together. So the last point we learned yesterday was regarding Limud Torah. The deepest idea of learning Torah is when a person learns Torah, it's just for the sake of Torah itself. Not to fulfill a mitzvah, not even v'agisa b'yayim and v'layla, which is the mitzvah of learning Torah. So what is the union of learning Torah here? Just for the sake of Torah itself. The Eibishter is in the Torah. The person learns the Torah and connects to the Torah without any objective. He's not trying to gain anything, not trying to do anything. In the Torah itself. Person completely loses the sense of time and place, even the Rebbe said. A person could learn Torah to such an extent that he goes beyond his time that's possible to learn. He finds himself learning in places where he's not expected or even supposed to learn Al Pi Torah, because he becomes so connected to the Torah that he's not even thinking about it. It's just totally Lishma. So let's continue inside. We're on Sif Tes. Yeshleimar. Based on all this, we can say the fact that at the time of Matan Torah, what was the Chiddush? To have the ability to join together Elyon and Tachtain. This joining together of Elyon and Tachtin, where is it revealed primarily when a person learns Torah Lishma? All the levels of learning Torah do not bring together the Elyon and the Tachtin as much as it does when you learn Torah Lishma. What's the reason? So the Rebbe will explain two different points here. Number one, the what makes it possible to bring together two opposites, an Elyon and a Tachtin, which are the furthest thing from each other? How is it possible, B'chlal, to join them together? Bitul hageder, the Elyon v'Tachtin. It's by annulling the limitation, what defines Elyon as Elyon, and what defines the Tachtin as a Tachtin, which they're removed and apart from each other. So when you have something that's higher both than the Elyon and the Tachtin, so when you're in the presence of a higher force, so then that annuls the limitation they have and they can be joined together. When you draw from Eirein Seif, from a place which is above the definition of the Elyon and above the Tachtin, and you can join them both together. Kanal Sif Dalet, as was mentioned earlier, and that's what happened by Matan Torah. There was such a great revelation of Anoichi Avaya Lekecha, that makes it possible to remove the Gzeira between Elyonim and Tachtinim. That's one point. Now, how does a person reach to such a high place that's above Elyon, above Tachtin, in his Avodas Hashem, in his Limudat Torah? The kind of Aveda that this requires in a person to reach to such a high place, when a person is learning Torah just for the sake of Torah itself, there's no objective, not for his Guf and Nefesh Bahamas that's enjoying the Torah, not for his Neshama that feels a maila, a connection in the Torah. He's just doing it for the sake of Torah. The person completely loses his whole Metzias. He's not thinking about what is guf, his brain, his stimulation, his body that gains from the Torah. And also benegeh to his neshama, the Elyon in the person. As he said before, the Rebbe in the Maamar before said, the knowledge of the Torah that a person gains, the connection to the Eibishter that the person gains. The person is not paying attention to any of that. It's a mitzvah, or it's even beyond a mitzvah. It's a learning of Torah where the person is b'chalal not paying attention to his whole mitzias. He's totally bottled by mitzias. What we learned yesterday was every mitzvah by definition means that I exist. Because there's a mitzvah, there's a commander that's paying attention to somebody and is commanding him to do so and so. When a person learns Torah beyond the level of a mitzvah, he's connecting to the Torah without being commanded to do so. The Eibush is in the Torah, so the person is there in the Torah. The person studies the Torah. So when a person learns Torah to that extent, he's completely batel b'metzias. And then he connects directly to Ein Sof, which is beyond the Gedarim of Elya and his neshama, higher than his guf, so he can join both together. That's one point. But Hine, another point is the actual bringing together, connecting, joining together, the Elyon and the Tachtin, the two opposites, is revealed in this very limud Torah of the person. Besides the koyach that he's accessing, because he's going out of his mitzvahs, he's reaching to a place which is beyond Elyon and Tachtin. The actual joining together of the Elyon and Tachtin takes place when he learns Torah Lishma. How is that? Shahablig vul the Torah Elyonim. On one hand, how is this person learning Torah? A person that learns Torah Lishma, his experience of learning, his attitude and his involvement in learning is without any limitation. It's the ultimate experience of Elyon in his learning of Torah. He's not limited to time, he's not limited to space. He might have a certain schedule, he might have expected to learn only up to a certain point, he might have expected only to learn up to a certain hour or place where he is, but he continues learning further. He loses the whole concept of time and space. So on one hand, the learning Torah is with the ultimate dedication of Elyon, where he's removed of time and space. And at the same time, who's learning here? This affects the person here below, the physical person, his gof, his neshama. The person here below is learning Torah. That the person here below, which is a tachtain, learns Torah on this level of lamayla makbala, losing the sense of time and space. So when you learn Torah Lishma, that very action or that very exercise is a chibur of Elyon and Tachton. On one hand, there's a bleak vul to his learning. At the same time, though, he's a limited person. He's a person with a body that's sitting by a sefer and learning Torah. Yesh lahaisef, to add another point to this,
You can't do this 24 hours a day.
Not going to work.
It's not going to work.
Right, correct. No, it's not expected of a person 24 hours a day. Absolutely not. But when a person does sometimes learn Torah with such a kind of dedication, so then you find yourself learning even in places where you didn't expect. If a person learns something and he's so involved in the sugya, in the idea that he learned, he'll be walking in the street and he's thinking to himself, what's the pshat in this thing that I just learned? Was he planning and thinking about that? The person has a million things to think about. But if he's really connected to the idea that he learned, so then it's there in his head. Right? To add another point, through the fact that the bligvul of Torah, the fact that a person learns Torah without any limitation, and that has an effect on the person here below, that the person, which is made up of a guf as well, learns Torah in this way, before even a person learns Torah in this manner, but b'chlal by matan Torah. The Eibishter takes Torah, which is Lamayla, and a ruchnisdige place in its source, and gives it by Matan Torah to us here below. Misgadle hablig vul de Torah oid yaiser. This itself reveals a deeper power that Torah has, even more than the blig vul of Torah, the way it is in its source. The pashtus, when the Torah is Lamayla in its source, there is where the Torah is blig vul in its source. It's in its pristine place where it's not coming down, it's not diluted, it doesn't have to relate to anything that's limited. The Torah in its source Lamayla is kulei ruchnius. It's a Torah which is on a completely higher level. Then the Eibishter gives Torah by the time of Matan Torah. He gives Torah for us over here below, to learn Torah, to relate to us, a halacha, a mitzvah, which is the Torah not in its original source. The Rebbe says no, but it's punkt verkehrt. Through the fact that Torah comes down lamata in this world, it reveals a deeper kayach within Torah, even more than what's seen when it's in its source. Why is that? The fact that Torah is the unlimited wisdom of the Eibishter, that that doesn't only remain in the place, in the reality of where Bli Gvul exists, within that place, in the source of Torah, Elishinim Sheches Gam Lamata. The Torah could come here below in this world, and it retains that koyach of Bli Gvul. It carries the Bli Gvul even here in this world. That's a much greater accomplishment. You have to have a much greater koyach for that. That it should be Bli Gvul even while it's here in this world. V'gam bam shachas lamata, even after the Torah comes here below in this world, nirgash begiloi habli gvul shaba. You could see how the Torah is unlimited. You learn a subject in Torah, you could learn deeper and deeper and deeper. It's endless how deep you can go in Torah. See, even after the Torah comes down lamata, and you see the Bli Gvul of Torah, that's a much more powerful thing. That's unbelievable. Right? There's a reality of Bli Gvul. There's a lamaila. There's a reality of Bli Gvul where Gvul is B'chlal, not Tevis. There is no existence of Gvul B'chlal in Atzilus. Atzilus is a place of Bli Gvul where there's no reality B'chlal of Gvul. And then there is a place, this is Olam Hazat Tachton, where everything is defined by Gvul. That the Eivisha should give Torah in a place of Gvul, and that the Torah should still retain its koyach of Bli Gvul. For that you have to have a koyach that could break through everything, including within the place of Gvul itself. It's a much greater koyach.
That wasn't the case in the case of the Avos. They also had, I mean, in their mind, they could go in the Gvul of their mind.
No, but it's not. Okay, one second. Let's finish the point here. A line before the end of the Inyan, and then we'll learn the Ha'aris. Shegam limidat Torah shel Adam. The human being, the person here below, which is a limited person, learns Torah hu ba'ofen the Bli Gvul. And he learns Torah in a manner of Bli Gvul. So the fact that you could have the Bli Gvul of Torah even here below, it's a combination of two opposites. You bring in Gvul and Bli Gvul together. To join those two opposites takes a much greater koyach than just the fact that the Torah within the realm of Bli Gvul is Bli Gvul. If it's Bli Gvul here below, that's a much greater koyach. Let's see what it says in the Ha'aris. 75, 76. You see what's going on? The Rebbe says this is similar. This idea that you have Bli Gvul even over here in this world is similar to something which is explained in Samach Vav in a different place. Ein Seif that's in the world of Atzilus and Ein Seif that's higher than the world of Atzilus. What's the difference? So he says there in Samach Vav that the Oyer of Atzilus is endless, the hispashtus of this Oyer is endless, hu Batzilus gufa, that's only within that realm of existence. Atzilus is called an Olam, it's a world, it's a specific reality where there's a revelation of the Bli Gvul of the Eibishter. But it's in that reality of Atzilus, not beyond it, not outside of it. But if you reach the Ein Seif which is higher than Atzilus, hu b'pchinas Ein Seif l'spashtusei mamish shenimshach b'chol ha'ishtalshalos. That level of Ein Seif is able to break through all boundaries and be drawn even into a place where there's a ishtalshalos, there's an order, there's a seder, and still that Ein Seif encompasses everything and is able to enter into every place. You have two different realities. There's a reality of Bli Gvul, which is an Atzilus. Then you have a reality of a Seder Ishtalshalos, where there's Gvul. The ability of Oyer Ein Seif to enter even into a place which is Gvul, you have to combine two opposites of Gvul and Bli Gvul. You have to have a much greater koyach in that. So that's what happens with Torah. When the Eibishter gives the Torah lamata. Ha'aris 76. V'zeh sheha'adam nisha b'mitziyusei Gvul. When a person learns Torah, and he learns Torah the way it's described in the Maamar in a manner of Bli Gvul, the person doesn't become Bli Gvul. He himself remains a person which is Gvul with his Taryak Keiches. He doesn't become Bli Gvul. He's learning Torah in a manner of Bli Gvul, but the person remains Gvul. And yet at the same time, the person learns Torah. His dedication to the Torah knows no bounds. He learns Torah beyond time and space. So over here again you have a combination of two opposites. The person is a limited human being, but at the same time his dedication to the Torah is so far that it knows no bounds. This reveals even more the koyach of the Bli Gvul of Torah. The bli gvul of Torah is not only in a place which is naturally bli gvul, but that bli gvul could also be present and be poyel on a person which is gvul. Still, a person could connect to Torah and learn Torah in a manner of bli gvul, even in this place. This idea is also explained in Samach Vav. The real idea, where the Eibishter could extend endlessly, wherever the Eibishter's presence comes, He's there. He's there fully. But it doesn't shatter and annul the existence of the world. The world is created and the world exists, and there's a limited existence of a world. There's gvul, and within that gvul, there's a chibur of bli gvul and gvul. The Eibishter enters even into a place of gvul. That's the emes ein seif l'spashtus say. That it's able to be mispashit from atzilus to bria to yitzira to asiyah. It enters into every reality. If there's a certain reality of existence where bli gvul is not tolerated, then it can't enter into there. So then that means it can't break through the lowest level. It can't reach into a place which is 100% gvul. The fact that you have olam is b'madregas and shenes havu, and at the same time the bli gvul enters into that place, what does that show? That's the emes idea of bli gvul. That it doesn't remain bli gvul only in a reality that's bli gvul naturally. It's able to come into a place which is the opposite of what it is. And still it continues going because it's be'emes bli gvul. No type of reality stops it of continuing further.
What does it have to do with us in the final?
He's talking over here about.
How does it affect us in reality?
He's talking over here about the koyach that the Eibishter gave us by Matan Torah. The koyach that the Eibishter gave by Matan Torah. When the Eibishter gives Torah, so what happens? So the Medrash says what happened was that the Eibishter removed the gzeira between Elyonim and Tachtonim. So the Rebbe is explaining what does that mean legabe us when our Yid learns Torah. He's a tachton. A person is learning Torah, at least a part of his mitzias is a guf, which is a tachton. A yid as a tachton in this world is able to learn Torah in the oifen of bli gvul, which means an elyon. Huh?
But what does that mean?
The payal, it means a person could learn Torah where even though he has a schedule of learning, when he begins, when he ends, but if a person learns Torah with the koyach of the elyon, he's able to continue going and he'll lose track of time. A person will find himself thinking words of Torah even in a place where a Yid is not even really supposed to. In Sayshani, we learned yesterday, a person finds himself learning Torah even in a place where he's not supposed to because he's so dedicated and connected to the Torah in a manner of bli gvul. That's the koyach of the Torah.
Casual Abbas, I mean, the way he's describing learning now, the Abbas did have it. They were tachtonim, they were in a guf, but yet they had, so, I mean, it didn't affect the world, the physical world, but they affected their minds, which was physical.
Look, I'll tell you what it is. You could ask the question, before you come to the Abbas, there's something deeper that Rebbe is saying here that we really need to understand. The point that the Rebbe is saying here, that a person learns Torah, and he's so dedicated to the Torah that he's bli gvul, he loses track of time and space. You could have that lahavdil regarding any other thing as well. A person is learning and studying any subject, any philosophy, any Inyan, and the person gets so immersed in what he's doing, and he loses track of time and space.
Right.
It's not a chiddush daf given again to Torah. It's not unique to Torah. Chayra. So what's the chiddush that the Rebbe is saying? No, anybody? There's something deeper that the Rebbe is saying over here. Okay, think about it more. The hesba for this.
The other thing in 75.
Maybe about the connection of this makes it able to learn Torah. He drops Davis
Okay, but in a practical sense, the Maamar here was moving in a very practical sense. The person has to learn Torah in order to know the mitzvahs that he has to. Purim is coming, so you have to know the mitzvahs of Purim. So you have to learn about the mitzvahs of Purim. Then there's the idea of learning Torah. A Yid is mechuyev to have the idea of kol Torah kula. Whether it's negeya, whether it's not. Okay, that also has Akbala, the Rebbe said. Once you learn Kol HaTorah Kula, that's it. You did your mitzvah. Then there's Vagisa B'yayim V'layla. That's even further. That's every Rega Poni, was the Lashon of the Maamar. Any free moment. But that also has a certain Akbala. One person has a greater Rega Poni, one person has less of a Rega Poni, and it's only a mitzvah, it's not. Then the Rebbe says there's the essence of Torah itself. You learn Torah, you're so connected to the essence of Torah, it's not even a mitzvah, it's beyond the mitzvah. You become one with the Torah. That's what the Rebbe is saying here. So the Rebbe is building it up higher and higher and higher. When a person learns lahavdil, any other philosophy, any other Inyan, it's what happens? What's the pshat of what goes on? the person becomes so involved in the seichel shebedavar. You're trying to figure out an inyan. And you're so involved in the seichel that the seichel draws you that you forget about time and space. That's not what the Rebbe is talking about here. Here the Rebbe is talking about that the neshama of the Yid, the connection that he has to the Torah, becomes so powerful, and that's why he can't tear himself away from the Torah. He remains there beyond any rega ponui. Even when it goes over time, the person is there, but it's not mitzad the seichel. It's because he and the Torah become one. Practically speaking, though, I don't have a. But practically speaking, where does that neshama connection express itself more than any other philosophy or dvar chachma lahavdil? I'm not sure.
I don't know, practically speaking, on the level.
Yeah. Okay.
The R75.
Yeah.
R75 is only according to the Ramah. It says that
Okay. One second. I'll believe the Kabbalah for soon.
No,
it's very good. Okay, say that. Let's continue a little further. Oisiyot. Pi kolanal, based on everything that we learned before. Yeshloi marat tamalzem. We could come back to explaining the reason for this. Shegema Kabbalah Sateirem, the Kibbutz Yehudim, Toli b'Mesiris Nefesh. So what the whole Maimah began with the Vart of the Frierdiker Rebbe, that accepting Torah and the full acceptance of the Torah, what is that dependent upon? On the Yidden accepting Torah here at the time of Gzeres Achashverosh, when there was Mesiris Nefesh. At the time of Matan Torah, Yidden were on a very high level, but there was no Mesiris Nefesh. You have to dafka have Mesiris Nefesh. Why dafka Mesiris Nefesh? The Rebbe asked, what's unique about Mesiris Nefesh that you can't fully accept Torah unless you have Mesiris Nefesh? So the reason is, so what's the simple pshat? The Rebbe here is going to say a much deeper pshat than we usually think. This Indian is brought in many of the Rebbe's Maimarim. The simplest pshat is that if you want to really see the full dedication of a person, you want to see how far is he ready to go? How dedicated is he? If you dedicated to something only up to a certain point, so then you didn't fully accept it. If you dedicated and you're ready to go till the end, and there's nothing that's stopping you, even to the point of Mesiris Nefesh that a person is ready to die for Torah, that's the indication that you have a full acceptance, a full dedication. The person is ready to give up his life for this. That's the simple pshat. But the Rebbe doesn't accept that. The Rebbe said in the beginning of the Maimah, when a Yid says Nasa v'nishma, all the Yidden said Nasa v'nishma, it was a full acceptance in that sense. Nasa v'nishma, as we know what it says in Chassidus about Nasa v'nishma, it's the greatest bittul. So if the idea is to see that the Yidden have the real full dedication, yes, the Yidden have the greatest dedication even then by Matan Torah. So why is it necessary to have Mesiris Nefesh? There was no suffix about their dedication. So here the Rebbe says a much deeper pshat. Joining together. The Al-Yainim and Tachtainim. That happens by Matan Torah. That's the main objective of Matan Torah. This is through annulling the boundaries that there are that separate between Elyon and Tachten. And therefore, the Kabbalah Sateirem, in order to be able to experience the full acceptance of Matan Torah, for this you have to have Mesiris Nefesh. Dafke Mesiris Nefesh expresses the connection of Elyon and Tachten. Why is that? So the Rebbe will explain here. So although when it came by Matan Torah itself, when the Yidden said Nasa v'nishma kiblu aleim, Lasa kol ma sheyitztavu. They accepted upon themselves to fulfill everything in Torah. Gam be'im yiyit tzorech l'mesiris nefesh. And the Nasa v'nishma is such an acceptance. It's a full acceptance, including if you would need Mesiris Nefesh for this. But the Rebbe says, Hare kol zman sham Mesiris Nefesh b'koyach. Just the acceptance and potential. If it will require this Mesiris Nefesh, I'm ready to do it to that point as well. That's only Mesiris Nefesh b'koyach, in potential. So that kind of Mesiris Nefesh, hu mitzad neshama. That's the revelation of the potential of the neshama, that he's ready to do it to the point of Mesiris Nefesh. But ve'en ba'guf, there's no actual Mesiris Nefesh in the physical body. So the bittul of the person, joining together the Elyon and the Tachten. Tzorich li is heim ba elyon v'heim ba tachten. That bittul has to affect the person both in his neshama and also in his guf. L'chein hashleimus the kabbalas haTorah tluya b'mesiras nefesh b'payil. When do you have the full acceptance of Torah that makes it possible to join together elyon and tachton is when it's not only an acceptance from the neshama, but it's an acceptance that has the guf involved as well, which is only when you have mesiras nefesh b'payil. At the time of Gzeiras Haman, all of Klal Yisrael was mafker their guf. They said that if Muhammad wants to kill us, they allowed themselves to mafker their life. They gave up their life in order for them to be able to continue learning Torah. When a person is not only thinking in potential, if it happens, but he's b'poyel in a matzav where there is a gzeira upon him, and the Yidden continue learning Torah, that mesiras nefesh b'poyel includes a dedication that's affecting the physical body and the nefesh ativis as well. That's a completely different thing. That's the Rebbe's husband. So the Maila, it's a completely different approach here. The Maila of mesiras nefesh that is required for the full acceptance of Torah is not the mile of Mesiras Nefesh itself, that Mesiras Nefesh represents the full dedication. That you had by Matan Torah. Nasiv and Nishma is the greatest expression of Mesiras Nefesh. The Haisafa of Purim, there wasn't more of a Mesiras Nefesh than the Mesiras Nefesh of Nasiv and Nishma. The Mesiras Nefesh and the potential of the Neshama and the actual Mesiras Nefesh is the same thing really. The actual Mesiras Nefesh draws its power from the neshama, from the Nasiv and Nishma that they said then, because they said Nasiv and Nishma at Matan Torah. Therefore, when it came down to it, when there was an actual Gzeira b'Poyel, they actualized that potential and that announcement of Nasiv and Nishma that they said. So it's really, in that sense, as far as the power of Mesiras Nefesh, it's one and the same thing. Elamai, when there's a Mesiras Nefesh b'Poyel, so then your Mesiras Nefesh is hitting your guf. It's reaching into the guf as well. And that's the full joining together of the Elyon and the Tachten that takes away the decree that separates Elyon and Tachten at Matan Torah. That's the only Hisafa that the Mesiras Nefesh at Purim adds to what happened by the Nasiv and Nishma of Matan Torah. It's a new pshat. I mean, usually this is not the pshat that it says in Order 77. He brings that. The Mittler Rebbe speaks about this. Or in Order 78. And he says over there the beer is boifenacher. There happened another Maamar, and this is also connected to a Gemara that we learned in Brachas yesterday. The Rebbe brings it says when you get to Rabbi Akiva. The Gemara says in Brachas, Rabbi Akiva said his entire lifetime, Masai Yovel Yadav Akaimenu. He had his neshama was burning on fire, and he wanted to experience Mesiras Nefesh. So the Rebbe asks the question: if his neshama has that desire, don't we know the famous word of the Baal Shem Tov, B'makom sheritzayin shel shamu nimtza? So he basically experienced Mesiras Nefesh. He had that connection. That potential of Mesiras Nefesh is something that he had that desire every single day, and he was living with it all the time. So if so, he has it already. What does he need? The actual Mesiras Nefesh, that his life physically, his body physically should die in Mesiras Nefesh. Once you have the desire, you're there. Elamai, the Rebbe says, you see that those that died, al Kiddush Hashem, Mesiras Nefesh b'Poyel, there's a tremendous milah. The fact that Mesiras Nefesh is actualized in the guf, the Mesiras Nefesh b'Poyel has a great milah over the Mesiras Nefesh b'Koyach. And that's the Mesiras Nefesh that the Yidden experienced at the time of Purim. Okay, it's late. What happened? Went a little overtime.